There are only 3 guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and me. Binging on KitKats when everyone else is asleep. I can't help it, they're just so addictive. And as it turns out, this is not by accident. The creators designed it like this deliberately, using a secret tactic they knew would hook people. But more on that later. For now, let's check out the full step-by-step process of exactly how KitKats are made. For context, KitKats are a globally popular chocolate-covered wafer bar, originally created by a company called Roundtree, based out of York, England in 1935. Initially called Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp, the name changed to KitKat in 1937. Known for their iconic "Have a break, have a KitKat" slogan, these treats gained fame for their crisp layers of wafer, encased in smooth chocolate. But who owns the brand today, you ask? Well, Nestle now holds the right worldwide, except in the US, where Hershey has the license. KitKats are celebrated for their innovative flavors, ranging from classic milk chocolate to exotic varieties like matcha. Their unique snap and share design has made them a staple in snack culture globally. Let's take a closer look, shall we? The main ingredients, cocoa, sugar, and milk, are at the heart of KitKat's flavoring crunch. Cocoa provides the deep, rich taste. Sugar balances the bitterness and adds sweetness. And milk gives the chocolate its creamy, smooth texture. Together, they create the ultimate combination that makes KitKat so enjoyable. The cocoa used in KitKat comes from well-known cocoa growing regions, mainly in West Africa, including countries like Ivory Coast and Ghana. These specific areas have ideal conditions for growing high-quality cocoa beans, thanks to the rich soil and good climate. Nestle, the Swiss food and beverage company that owns the KitKat brand, works closely with local farmers through its cocoa plant. This program supports sustainable farming and helps improve yields, as well as community well-being. For instance, the cocoa plant equips farmers with training on advanced farming techniques like composting and pest management, while providing essential tools such as pruning equipment and fertilizer sprays. This boosts productivity and enhances the livelihoods of farmers and their families, which I think you and I can both agree is pretty amazing anyhow. After harvesting, the finest cocoa beans undergo a strict quality control operation involving visual inspection and chemical analysis to make certain that only the best beans are selected. These beans are then roasted to develop their full flavor, with careful control over temperature and timing, using a certain type of roasting machine. Roasting is a delicate step because it has a significant impact on the taste and aroma of the final product. During roasting, chemical reactions known as Maillard reactions occur, which are critical for developing the complex flavor of the cocoa. Sugar is another key ingredient that balances the natural bitterness of the cocoa and sweetness and contributes to the sleek, uniform texture of the final product. The quality of the sugar in its fine blending operation are some of the main reasons that the texture remains consistent throughout, avoiding any grittiness in the chocolate. The sugar is finely ground and milling machines to blend well with the cocoa and resulting in a uniform texture. Fresh milk sourced from local dairy farms provides creaminess and enhances the overall flavor of the chocolate. The combination of milk and cocoa creates the iconic creamy taste that pairs perfectly with a crispy wafer layers. Sourcing milk locally supports regional dairy farmers, while simultaneously guaranteeing that Nestle can consistently source the freshest ingredients. For their KitKats, the milk is evaporated and condensed to reduce its water content before being mixed with other ingredients, allowing a consistent creamy texture. In addition to the main ingredients, vanilla extract is added to enhance the flavor, giving it a subtle sweetness. Lecithin, usually extracted from soy or sunflower, is used as an emulsifier to keep the ingredients well mixed and to improve the texture of the chocolate by reducing the thickness. Interestingly, while the core recipe stays the same everywhere, some regions produce unique KitKat flavors to match local taste. For instance, Japan has a wide variety of flavors, such as matcha, green tea, and strawberry. Despite these local variations, the main ingredients and process always remain the same. Needless to say, quality control is important at every stage of production. Each batch of cocoa sugar and milk is inspected to ensure it meets Nestle's strict standards, including checks for purity, moisture content, and overall quality. This dedication equality is the reason why every KitKat bar has the same great taste no matter where it's made. Crafting the KitKat chocolate begins with roasting. Roasting brings out the complex flavors in the beans, which are essential for the decadent taste and aroma of the final product. After roasting, the beans are cracked using a winnowing machine to remove the shells, leaving the cocoa nibs. These nibs are then ground into cocoa mass, a thick paste that releases cocoa butter, which gives the chocolatey smooth texture. I mean, just look at how smooth it is. The cocoa mass is then refined further to achieve a silky texture, making it perfect for molding. Once the cocoa mass is ready, it is mixed with sugar, milk, and other flavorings, and large mixing vats equipped with powerful agitators. The mixing is carefully controlled, with the main goal here being the even distribution of the ingredients. The mixture is then heated to fully incorporate everything and achieve an even consistency. After this, the chocolate is put through a process called conching. During conching, the chocolate is stirred in large conch machines at high temperatures, usually between 50 and 80 degrees Celsius or 127 to 176 degrees for several hours. This further refines the texture and enhances the flavor by evening out any coarse bits and letting volatile acids escape, which helps to reduce bitterness. Conching helps each product achieve that luxurious mouthfeel that KitKat chocolate is known for. After conching, the chocolate is ready to be molded into bars. Specialized molds made of polycarbonate are used to create KitKat's unique shape. The molding begins with depositing a layer of chocolate that forms the base. The crisp wafer is then placed on top. The wafer is made from wheat flour, sugar, and a leavening agent, such as sodium bicarbonate, and it is baked to a light, airy texture using tunnel ovens, which give KitKat its signature crunch. Once the wafer is securely in place, it is covered with another layer of chocolate, fully encasing it. The molds are then gently vibrated to remove any air bubbles. The bars are then cooled in cooling tunnels, where the temperature is carefully controlled to allow the chocolate to set evenly, giving it a glossy finish in a firm texture. A glossy finish makes the chocolate visually appealing, while a firm texture is what gives it that iconic snap. You know the satisfying sound and feel when you break off a piece. The molds used for KitKats are specially crafted with grooves that create distinct, breakable segments of feature, intentionally designed by the original creators. Because of these grooves, each piece of the KitKat can snap apart cleanly, making the chocolate easy to share or enjoy piece by piece. This design was a deliberate choice by the founders to enhance the eating experience, turning what could have been a simple chocolate bar into an addictive ritual that adds to the product's appeal. Now let's take a closer look at the KitKat wafers themselves. Turning the basic ingredients of a KitKat wafer into the well-loved KitKat bar requires advanced equipment, refined methods, and dedicated craftsmanship, each contributing to the overall quality of the product. The KitKat wafer begins with blending flour and water into a smooth, pliable dough. This dough needs to be thin enough to create a crispy texture, yet strong enough to hold up during layering with chocolate. Additives such as sugar and vegetable oil are sometimes included to improve flavor and consistency, and the entire mixing process is tightly controlled for temperature and humidity to get the desired outcome. Industrial mixers give the dough a uniform consistency, which is needed for a quality end product. Once mixed, the dough moves to a laminator, which rolls it out into very thin sheets. These sheets directly affect the quality of the final wafer, so no messing about allowed. These thin sheets are fragile and must be handled delicately to maintain their structure. As they move to the next step, they pass through a rotary molder that evens them all out after molding. The dough sheets are cut into consistent, rectangular shapes using guillotine cutters. The accuracy here is essential, since each wafer needs to fit perfectly with others in the bar. After cutting, the wafers are baked in large convection ovens. These ovens circulate hot air, baking each wafer well. Baking times must be exact. Underbaking results in a chewy wafer, while overbaking can cause them to crumble. The wafers are baked until they reach a brown color, signaling that they are ready for the next step. Cooling is then done gradually to maintain the crispy texture, using cooling tunnels with conveyor systems. If cooled too quickly, the wafers may become brittle, and if cooled too slowly, they could lose their crunchiness. Once cooled, the wafer layers are stacked, forming a solid core. The wafers are then coated in a layer of creamy chocolate. Using enrobing machines, this coating adds flavor and binds the wafer layers together, creating a sturdy core that gives KitKat its distinctive snap. Once the core is completed, as placed in molds for the final coating of smooth milk chocolate, the chocolate undergoes tempering, a process where it is heated and cooled to achieve a glossy finish. The bars are then passed through a flowing stream of tempered chocolate known as a chocolate curtain. This gives the bars their smooth coating, and the temperature is carefully managed. Once coated, the bars pass through a cooling tunnel that helps the chocolate set evenly, resulting in an attractive defect-free product. After the chocolate is set, the packaging process begins. Each KitKat is wrapped in its signature foil and then encased in the recognizable red and white sleeve. This is done using high-speed flow wrapping machines, which wrap thousands of bars per hour. To maintain efficiency, the foil wrapping serves multiple purposes and not only represents the branding, but also helps preserve the wafer crispness and the creamy texture of the chocolate by keeping moisture and air out. After wrapping, the bars undergo quality checks using high-resolution cameras and sensors to see which ones fit Nestle's standards for appearance and weight. Bars that do not meet these standards are removed from the production line. Visual inspections also work alongside to verify quality, as each KitKat must be ready for distribution in perfect condition. Nestle is also working to make KitKat packaging more sustainable by using 100% recyclable or reusable materials by 2025. This goal is part of their bigger plan to lower their environmental impact without losing quality, showing they care about responsible production. Nestle is also focused on getting ingredients in a fair way. The cocoa for KitKats is sourced through programs such as the one we discussed earlier, the cocoa plant. This makes their supply chain more ethical and responsible, which is important to consumers who care about sustainability. Finally, after all the steps, mixing, baking, coating, and wrapping, KitKat bars are ready to be shipped. Whether you have it as a snack, share it with friends, or treat yourself, KitKat continues to bring joy to millions, one snap at a time. KitKat has an act for keeping things exciting with its wild flavor experimenting global twists. Over the years, it's become a canvas for flavors you never thought would exist, and some you probably still can't believe do. Here's a breakdown of how KitKat has evolved into one of the most versatile treats around. Let's start with Japan, the undisputed champion of KitKat innovation. Since 2000, they released over 300 different flavors, ranging from crowd pleasers like matcha or green tea, and sakura or cherry blossom, to truly unexpected options like soy sauce, wasabi, and baked potato. There's even a bakeable KitKat that caramelizes in the oven. The UK also knows how to keep things interesting. It was the first market to introduce a new flavor back in 1996 with KitKat Orange, paving the way for permanent favorites like mint and dark chocolate. Across the Atlantic, the US keeps expanding its lineup with flavors like lemon crisp, raspberry cream, and the newly permanent vanilla. Keeping things fresh, it's not just the flavors though. KitKat has also reimagined its shape and format. The chunky version introduced in the UK in 1998 offers a bigger, bolder take on the classic bar, with flavors like peanut butter and caramel. And let's not forget the seasonal releases, like the KitKat Santos launched in 2024, because apparently even Santa gets a KitKat break. It's a candy bar that knows no limits, and that's exactly why it stayed a favorite for nearly a century. Now, starting at No. 5 and counting down to No. Here are the top 5 most interesting and lesser known fun facts about KitKats. Are you ready? In 2012, KitKat pulled off a fun marketing stunt by sending one of its chocolate to the edge of space. They called it #Break from Gravity. A KitKat was strapped to a weather balloon with a GoPro camera and set up about 35,000 meters or 114,829 feet into the stratosphere before the balloon burst, sending the KitKat back to Earth with a parachute. JWT London, an advertising agency, came up with this campaign to playfully support Felix Baumgartner's record-breaking skydive from the stratosphere, which happened around the same time. The video of the KitKat's journey was shared on social media, gaining lots of attention and highlighting KitKat's theme of taking a break, even from gravity. Even though it was just a marketing stunt, it showed how creative KitKat can be. And this wasn't even KitKat's first space adventure. Back in 1995, a UK KitKat bar went into space on a rocket as part of a science experiment. Ever wonder what makes the filling between KitKat's crispy wafers so delicious? When a KitKat bar doesn't meet the quality standards, perhaps it's broken or misshapen, it doesn't go to waste instead. These imperfect bars are crushed and blended with cocoa and sugar to create the creamy filling nestled between the wafers. This ingenious method not only enhances the flavor, but also reduces food waste. It's like a KitKat within a KitKat. This KitKat life hack was even highlighted in a BBC documentary. During World War II, KitKat had to make some big changes because of resource shortages. They switched from milk chocolate to dark chocolate since milk was hard to come by, and they changed the wrapper color from red to blue. The wrapper also had a note saying, and I quote, "Because no milk can be obtained for chocolate manufacturer, the chocolate crisp BU in peacetime can no longer be made. KitKat is the nearest possible product at the present time." This message helped keep customer trust during tough times. KitKat bars were even included in soldiers' rations, giving them a little taste of home. In Japan, KitKats are seen as symbols of good luck, especially for students. This comes from a fun coincidence. KitKat sounds like the Japanese phrase kitokatsu, which means you will surely win. Because of this, KitKats are often given as good luck gifts during exam season. Nestle Japan even makes special packages with messages like "Believe in yourself" to support this tradition. Nestle has also made limited edition KitKat flavors inspired by local tastes, and they're often bought as souvenirs. This has made KitKat even more popular as a good luck charm in Japan. Sometimes, a KitKat bar ends up without any wafers inside, making it a solid chocolate bar. Nestle says that even with quality control, these rare waferless KitKats can still happen. These unique bars have caught people's attention, and some even see them as collectibles. People have tried to sell them online for high prices, even though they're just production errors and not special editions. For example, in 2016, a British law student bought a multi-pack of KitKats, and none of them had wafers. She even demanded a lifetime supply of KitKats as compensation, showing just how seriously some people take this anomaly. While some think waferless KitKats are rare treasures, others are just disappointed without the classic crunch. Nestle encourages anyone who finds one to reach out so they can address it. What would you do if a KitKat bar you bought had no wafer? Comment below. I'm curious to hear your response. So now you know exactly how KitKats are made. Which brings us to a close. And since you're already here, you might as well check out our other videos. The video we posted just before, this one might shock you.